Victor Wembanyama is going to go down as the greatest player of all time. He is 7'5". Look at this. Off a defensive rebound. He starts out in transition, just casually bringing up the ball. He is 7'5". Look at this. Just casually bringing up the ball. So Chris Paul is going to fake like he's going to set a screen here. What does that do? That gets Walker Kessler backing up just a little bit, anticipating the screen. So what does Victor Wembanyama do? 2 more dribbles. Look where he pulls up from. That's a logo Steph Curry 3 at 7'5". This is what differentiates him defensively from anybody we've ever seen in the NBA. He can protect the rim without being in the paint. Right here, he's out guarding on the perimeter right here, but he's always lurking, always seeing ball, always seeing man. The second he sees Jordan Clarkson get a step on Jeremy Sohan, look at him leave the perimeter to come all the way down and clean this up right here at the rim, and give me that. And you just simply cannot run drop coverage with Victor Wembanyama. Pick and roll with Chris Paul. It doesn't even matter if you have backside help. Jordan Clarkson's going to step up all the way in backside help. Chris Paul, all he's got to do is throw this to the ceiling. Even with a backside defender coming right here in Jordan Clarkson, doesn't matter. Victor Wembanyama will just take him to the rim too. These tip-ins are things you've never seen in basketball before. Spurs are running a pick and roll. Wembanyama's the roll man. Jazz are in drop coverage. So first of all Malachi Branham's got to do, he's going to take this to the rim. It's just, you can miss the layup, you can do whatever, but get that off the backboard. Get that off the rim. But look at this tip-in. Patty Mills is going to shove with 2 hands Wembanyama underneath the rim, and he can still reach back with that wingspan and tip it in from all the way on the other side of the rim. It's not just defensively protecting the rim where his wingspan comes into play. Jazz are running the pick and roll. Spurs are in drop coverage. Victor Wembanyama is going to drop to the paint right here. Look at how far back he is from the ball handler. But with those long arms, that wingspan, if you're not paying attention to Wembanyama, the ball handler's looking to make a pocket pass. Wembanyama from all the way out from the paint is going to get these long arms, get a steal, a deflection, and then here goes the Spurs with a 4-on-1, and I think we know how this ends up. This is greatest player of all time stuff right here. 7'5" Victor Wembanyama. Out of a sideline, out of bounds, they're going to run a cross screen to get Victor Wembanyama a lob at the rim, right? Well, that's what Wembanyama's man thinks. So Wembanyama's going to fake like he's coming off this cross screen to get the defender leaning towards the paint. Whoops, nope, I'm not coming off a cross screen anymore. I'm going to flare to the three-point line. Again, that's 4 steps from the three-point line and just drill a 3. Now the elite playmaking. So Wembanyama in transition gets cross-matched onto a guard. So they're going to throw the ball to him in the high post, but he's not putting the ball on the floor just yet. Wait and see. If no double team comes and everybody stays home, now we're going to pound that mismatch down low. But wait, don't put the ball on the floor yet, because if a double team comes, now my head's still up. Once that double comes, now I just wait for a cutter. Perfect pass. There's just nothing you can do here. This is Kevin Durant on steroids. Walker Kessler's going to 3/4 the post and try and deny that entry pass. Doesn't matter. Again, Chris Paul can throw this to the ceiling and get that ball, and Wembanyama's catching it. So now you're done. I mean, now the face-up game, all it is just one rip-through move and a dribble. Walker Kessler can't block this shot. Just a rip-through move, a dribble, and I'm a lot taller than you. We'll just put this up for 2. And this is Victor Wembanyama receiving Shaq-like treatment down low. John Collins is trying to deny this entry pass in 3/4 the post again. You cannot do that because I can throw this to the ceiling right here and Victor Wembanyama is going to catch it. So that's going to require a second defender. If they throw it over the top and there's no backside defender there, Wembanyama's catching it, it's a dunk. So Colin Sexton now has to leave the corner. You can't let this entry pass. Look at it. John Collins is still 3/4ing the post. If Colin Sexton doesn't step up, they're going to throw it over the top. It's a dunk. So what does that do? Well, now it just leaves the corner wide open for Keldon Johnson. Now Victor Wembanyama's the roll man out of the pick and roll. You run drop coverage here. Walker Kessler has to stay with Wembanyama. This is going to be a lob if he doesn't. So look at how easy this is to be the ball handler coming off the screen. Walker Kessler's got to stay glued to Wembanyama. That's going to be a lob dunk if he isn't. So what happens when you stay glued to Wembanyama? Well, now Harrison Barnes can get right to the rim. You got to stay attached, so that's a lob. So what do you get? A layup. And defensively, it's not just the rim protection. Wembanyama playing drop coverage off a Jazz pick and roll. The ball handler's going to take his eye off Wembanyama because he thinks he's dropping to the paint. And even with Wembanyama dropping to the paint, look at these long arms, that wingspan. You're looking for the pocket pass. Well, Wembanyama in the paint is going to get a deflection, a steal, and now look, 7'5". We're going to run the break, 3-on-2, little behind the back pass to finish. This is greatest player of all time stuff. Malachi Branham just got a steal right here, a guard. So is he going to start the fast break? Nope. Let's give it to our 7'5" center to run in transition right here. And look at Wembanyama playmaking. He notices both Jazz bigs getting back are going to be staring at the ball. No one's going to get back to Keldon Johnson, so it's just one dribble. Look at this hit-ahead pass. A 7'5" center all the way up to Keldon Johnson as both people pay attention to Wembanyama, Keldon Johnson, and one. And this is a little bit of everything with Victor Wembanyama defensively. John Collins has a mismatch down low on a guard, so Wembanyama's going to come double. He, first of all, has to deny this cutter from getting this pass for a dunk. Look at Wembanyama's long arms, that wingspan. Look at him deny this pass to the Utah Jazz cutter right there. So now you're not able to make that pass. Now John Collins thinks he can go up. Nope, block. Now Patty Mills gets this offensive rebound, and Victor Wembanyama's not even jumping here. He's standing still, but the threat of Wembanyama trying to block this shot forces Patty Mills to rush a floater, and that's a miss too. And defensively, Wembanyama does not need to be in the paint to start to be a rim protector. Look at this, always lurking, guarding on the perimeter, but we're still seeing ball and man. Spurs are in drop coverage. John Collins is going to roll off the pick and roll right here. Look at Wembanyama just waiting at the block, sitting, seeing the ball. Once that lob goes up, nope, not going to happen. You can pull a fan from the stands and they will score with Victor Wembanyama as the roll man off the pick and roll because the Jazz are going to try and run drop coverage. Well, the big can't traditionally just drop to the ball. If you let Wembanyama roam freely on the roll downhill, it's a lob 10 times out of 10. So that big's got to stay attached to Wembanyama. What does that mean? Whoops, now Stephon Castle, the guard, can just, that's a layup line. This just cannot possibly be real. Pick and pop time with Victor Wembanyama. Chris Paul coming off the ball screen. The Jazz are in drop coverage right here. So all Chris Paul's got to do, Wembanyama's popping to the three-point line. Keep your dribble alive and keep a steady attack downhill to keep that big dropping in towards the paint so he has to cut off that dribble drive. So now here comes, this is insane, a 7'5" center. Look at this. Pump and go drive. Now we're going to mix in, look at this, no look pass to the corner. That is not real life. You already know what's coming here on the fast break. Colin Sexton's got a full head of steam downhill. He's going to try and put Wembanyama in jail and body him up to create some space. Look at Colin Sexton right here. Try and use his body and go into Wembanyama to create space. And he does do that, but it doesn't matter. Again, that long wingspan, no chance. None. And this is just more greatest player of all time stuff. We've seen what he does on the pick and roll. How about the pick and pop? So now Walker Kessler's going to drop and cut Chris Paul's driving lane off in drop coverage. One problem. You leave Wembanyama wide open for three, he'll nail that too.